What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Arctic action figures. So we have 3 figures here that are all Arctic based, so we thought we'd just do them all together. So first, from the Joes, we have Snowjob, which looks pretty cool. So it just looks like a guy in an all-white park, ready to be out in the snow. But he comes with cool accessories like skis and stuff, and just a lot of cool accessories to go along with him. On the back of the box, you can see a layout of him and all his accessories he's going to come with, which I think look pretty cool. So I'm excited to check him out. And then similar, we do also have the Snow Serpents, which are just a soldier of Cobra, but they kind of come with a lot of accessories pretty similar to Snowjob. And on the back, you can see all those different accessories. So again, in an all-white suit, so that'll be pretty similar, but then comes with a lot of cool accessories. He comes with a snowboard, and then we get some wolf pelt to put on as well, so that'll look pretty cool. And then finally, we have our basic army builder of the Bats. At this time, look really cool with the Arctic design, so look pretty cool with the chainsaw arm and everything. So that looks pretty cool, and then all the accessories they will come with on the back there. So I'm excited to check that out as well. So very excited to check all of these Arctic figures. I think they look pretty cool. Come with the different accessories and stuff that I enjoy with the skis and snowboard and everything. So hopefully these will be cool as I'm expecting. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Snowjob, whose real name is Harlan Moore. He's a former member of the U.S. Olympic biathlon team, and his primary specialty is Arctic ski patrol, and his secondary is rifle instructor, as he's an expert in long-range sniper rifles. So he looks cool here. I hope he can show up pretty well. I know it's going to be hard with a basic white figure on the white background, but looks pretty awesome, ready for the Arctic in the all snow gear and everything. So he's got the hood up with the nice fur line around it, covering up his face, and we'll obviously take some of the stuff off so you can see him, but face looks pretty nice with the reddish brown beard. You can see his eyes and eyebrows and face all sort of squinted up and everything, so he looks a little bit older with age on his face. Then it looks like he's got a toboggan or hat kind of covering him up there, and with the hood up, and then his jacket, so mostly all white, has some gray details, so gray down the center here and then across the chest and down, and then some gray with some pockets going down the arms and around to the back there. And then he does have this chest harness on the front that kind of goes in and will fit into his backpack, that we clip on the back there. So it has some pockets there and pockets around the waist there. He's got some black gloves on his hands, and then down his legs continue with the white, with gray. So we got gray pockets there and gray around the bottom of the boots. Has a thigh holster on there to hold a pistol, and then just some black boots there on his feet, probably some thick boots that'll keep his feet warm in the snow. So overall, I think he looks pretty cool. I like this design. Looks pretty unique and awesome. But we'll do his movement, so his head will twist around. Of course, it'll be hard with this hood, but it can twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far, and obviously without this hood on, he'll move a lot better in there, but still pretty decent movements for that. The shoulders do come up to 90, and there's a butterfly joint type thing, but it doesn't really do much, just a little bit back and forth, but it can rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up that far, so pretty decent bend with the wrist that'll twist around. Now this has the hinge up and down hand, so that'll be a gun hand. Then we can go to his crunches, so he has the crunch right under the straps here, so you can crunch back and forth and twist around a little. I can't tell if he twists all the way around, feels like he's getting stuck, but he can twist around a little. And then we do have the crunch at the waist and twist around just very little there. Now, unlike most G.I. Joes, they can completely twist around, but at least for him, and he has a similar body to our next figure as well, which I figured out on that one, it doesn't twist around, so I've kind of screwed up the waist on that one. So unfortunately, we'll have to see if we can get a new one. But yeah, just got to be careful with the waist on these figures specifically. But the hip can come up pretty close to 90. You may have to force it, and then also the jacket kind of being in the way, but you can get it close up to 90 there if you force it, and out to the side can completely do a split. So it has those drop down hips as well. So the thigh twist, that'll twist around a little bit stiff. We can twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that again has a stiffness to it there. Bend up that far to the back, which isn't the best, but he's got big snow pants on, so not going to get a lot of range. We have an ankle twist, so just inside the bottom of the pants, there's a little bit of an ankle twist that'll twist side to side, and then the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side itself. So it's pretty decent range, but there is some limited movements with some stiffness of the joints, but then the actual joints themselves, which kind of makes sense, like I said, where he's wearing, this bigger, puffier snow gear, so it's going to limit a lot of his movements. But I think overall, look-wise, he looks really good in this outfit. But for accessories, we get a lot of accessories for him and things that we can switch out. So one thing is we can take this hood off. It may be easier. I don't know if you can take the hood off without taking the head off, but I say it may be easier just to pop the head off. So you can have him like that without the hood on. It also looks a little bit weird, obviously, because it would have a hood on the jacket no matter what, but we'll replace that in a second. But he does come with some goggles. So we have goggles we can take and, slide down on his head, and then, have that hood back on it so fit with the goggles and the hood. Or it also comes with an extra hood piece, so you can have the hood down. So let's pop that on because it'll look a lot better. So there he is with that hood piece, so that looks pretty good. So nice, so you can have that, and like I said, you have to take the goggles goggles off, have them on, whatever you want. But then we do get an additional head without the covering as well. So we have this one, which I think looks pretty decent. So let's switch this out as well. And there we have the complete uncovered head, which I think looks really good. So I'd probably either have them in this form or have the hood up with their head on and the goggles on and everything, have them completely like covered up. So I just choose between either one of those because either looks really good. So I think he looks awesome there with his red hair, a little bit longer hair, you know, sort of swept to the side, and thicker red beard as well. So that looks pretty cool overall. And then accessories, again, we get a lot of accessories. So we'll start with weapons for one. So first we get a pistol. So nice little pistol, looks pretty nice, you know, has a nice design to it. But we can just go and obviously stick it into his hand, but we'll just stick it down here on his thigh holster, so it just slides right inside there. And then for his main weapon, as I mentioned in his bio, he is a sniper, so we do get a sniper rifle as well, which looks really nice with the black and green designs, nice big scope up top. We do have a magazine that comes out, so you can have that, nice big stock, and then the barrel sticks out pretty far, so really nice design. Obviously we can take and put this into his hand. Let's see how I can get it. So unfortunately there's about the best I can get. I try to, you know, get it up where he could actually looking down the scope, but that's about the best I can get it. So obviously that doesn't look too good, and it seems like it doesn't work out somewhere up in the shoulders, like to get it up high enough. So it feels like obviously having an actual butterfly joint would help a lot with that. But yeah, I can't really get it to do much better than that. So he'll just have to obviously be relaxed holding the gun and not actually trying to snipe with it. So that kind of stinks. But with these other accessories, that'll look much cooler. So we don't really need to have that. So first off, we'll start with his backpack. So he has this cool backpack, just all in a brown color, but it, you know, doesn't really look like the most fanciest thing, but it does have places to hold all the accessories he's going to come with. So obviously we have the peg that will go into the back. So we'll just go and pop this in. So it just pegs in the back there. And then we can go and take the sniper out of his hand and we can store it in the backpack. So you just take it and then it'll just slide right down the center here. So it just slides right down in there and stores just like that. So that's pretty cool. So we have storage for a sniper, and then we can bring in all his other accessories. So the first thing he comes with, again, with being in the snow, comes with a lot of snow accessories. So we get a set of snowshoes. So these look pretty cool. Remind me a lot of like the flippers we've gotten with the underwater people. So we have little snowshoes that we can take and stick onto his feet. Obviously they have the peg that you just pop in the peg and then slide these on and stick it in there. So he'll have these snowshoes on. So there he has those snowshoes. So of course that gives him a nice base, so you don't have to worry about him falling over or anything. But he has those snowshoes on as an option if you want, but he comes with some other accessories I think will be cooler. So we'll take these off, and with those we can stick them onto the backpack here. So are these pegs down at the bottom. So you just find the pegs on the side of the shoe, so you can see those there, and you just slide them on. So you can just stick either one. I don't know if there's a certain like left or right or anything, but you can just take and stick them on the pegs here. So they'll just hang off the back just like that. So again, love that they can hold a lot of their accessories, and we can replace those instead with a set of skis. So we get skis as well that we can put on its feet. Now I do want to put these on him, but I do also want to show that you can store these on the backpack as well. So on the backpack each side there are these straps here, so you can just take, you may have to pop this off, and you can undo these straps so they're just kind of buckled in or whatever, sort of stuck in the back here, and you can undo them, and then you can take the skis and stick them through here and then strap it around. And he can also carry the skis on the backpack, so you just put them one on each side like that. But like I said, I want to put these on his feet, so I'm going to do that. So there I got the skis on his feet, so that looks pretty cool. So now he can be skiing along the snow slope, so that is pretty cool. And of course, to go along with those, you have ski poles as well. So we have 2 ski poles that we will put into his hands, but just want to show again that on the backpack there's storage for these. So on the back piece, you know, that pegs into his back, there is 2 spots here that you can stick the ski poles as well. So again, you can store everything he has on him or the backpack, which is really cool. So let me put these skis in his hands and we'll put the backpack back on. So there's the ski poles in his hands as well. So now he's ready to go out skiing or cross country skiing. So that is pretty cool. So we can have him now like this, which I think looks pretty awesome. Or obviously we can have him all bundled up, like I said, with the hood and covering and goggles, and, you know, really have him out in the weather. So just so cool that he has all these accessories and that he, you know, can store them all on himself. Now we do have these other extra accessories, you know, like the goggles and the extra hood covering and head and stuff, but everything else can fit on him perfectly. So that is just really cool. So that's always one of the things I love about the G.I. Joes, is they can hold everything, and he can pretty much hold everything, and it looks pretty awesome as well. So this is another fun character, just unique thing, you know, with the skis and all that. So another fun, awesome looking character. So there we've got Snowjob now, which looks really cool. So another great G.I. Joe figure. And next up we have the Snow Serpent, which are Cobra's cold weather environmental specialists, and they're a branch of the eels that go through the same rigorous training as the eels, as well as a 6-month cold weather course in the Arctic Circle, and are also trained in airborne operations and anti-tank procedures. So these are pretty much more highly trained and qualified eels that are trained specifically for the snow, and overall look pretty cool and have a lot of similarities to Snowjob. We'll see a lot, especially like the main body, like down here, is going to be pretty much the same, like with the legs, but overall they look pretty cool. So so they have complete face covering. So these are, you know, more Cobra troopers and stuff, so faceless characters. So we get a mask that completely covers them, so a black mask there with this white helmet on over the top. And I like how they have like these goggles or whatever built in, but there's always like this brown color around them, so I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like rusting or something, or just like brown like a leather or something. Not exactly sure, but there's just, yeah, some brown around the eyes. I think it'd be cool if it's rust, just because, you know, add some details that they've been out in the weather, and have neck covering going down to the jacket where they have some fur up top, so nice white fur all around the top and up on the shoulders and forearms there. And then they have a vest piece over the top of the jacket that looks like it's got like a bag storage and just all sorts of straps going around there. Love the like design, so probably like the Snow Serpent design there on the arm and Cobra logo on that side. And then we get more of the straps. I love how it's in the blue as well, so it just adds against that white. So we have the belt and straps going down around the legs to the thigh holsters there, again in blue. Little blue gloves with the fur there as well on the hands, so that's pretty cool. All the way down to, like I said, the exact same pants as Snowjob, just doesn't have the gray painted in on it. And then blue boots on the feet as well in the dark blue color, so looks pretty cool overall. But like I said, unfortunately I've kind of messed this one up. So we'll do the movements. So the head will twist all the way around, you can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent movements in the head for that. The shoulders come up to 90 there, and again have that butterfly joint, but a little better range than Snowjob had, so back and forth. And we'll rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up a little bit stiff, it feels like, but can bend up that far at least, so not too bad, with the wrist that'll twist around and has the hinge up and down joint. Then we go to the ab crunch. So we have an upper ab crunch, which kind of hidden behind the strap, so can crunch back and forth a little. Doesn't really seem to crunch too much, just a little bit back and forth. And again, can't hardly twist around, just like Snowjob had. And then same at the waist, can crunch back and forth, and then can twist around a little, but it doesn't twist around all the way, and that's where I've messed it up. So I've kind of messed up the joint there, so have to worry about that. Then the hips will come up to 90, and out to the side can do the splits with those drop down hits, so you gotta push them back up in there. Thigh twist around, the double knee joints that bend up that far to the back. And then we get the ankle twist, so just in the pant leg there can twist, and then the foot will flex back and forth and can twist side to side. So pretty close to the exact same movements all around as Snowjob, so it's almost an identical figure, just with a different design with this fur and everything built onto it. But then we get his accessories, so again, it comes with a lot of accessories, much like Snowjob. So first we get a set of goggles. We have a set of goggles we can take and put onto his face, so it kind of covers up whatever the eye holes he's already got there, like that, so it'll completely cover his eyes as well. So nice to have that goggle design. I think I do like that a little bit more. And then for weapons, we do get pistols, so we get two identical pistols. Pretty small guns, they look relatively small, but look nice as well. And they have the thigh holsters on each thigh, so we can just take and store them in there. So they're stored on each thigh just like that. He does also come with a knife. I don't know where you put it because he doesn't have any place to store it, at least that I can see. But he comes with this little knife all in black. Looks pretty nice, like the handle and everything looks nice. But yeah, it just kind of stinks that he doesn't have anywhere to store it. Like I said, at least that I see anywhere, it doesn't look like it. So that's one thing. He'll have this, now you just have to figure out what to do with. And then he has an array of guns. So first we get this little gun. I assume it's supposed to be like an SMG of some sort. I don't know guns too well, but has a magazine that can come out there, but just looks like a little gun. Has a scope up top, a funny looking barrel on then, but just a small little gun. So obviously with that in his hands. We do also get this gun as well, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to be an assault rifle. I think that looks like maybe have like a grenade launcher on the bottom of it, but again, it has a magazine that can come out, and just overall looks pretty good, like a rifle with a weird barrel on the end of it, kind of a weird shape, but still looks pretty cool. And then finally, as I mentioned, since they have anti-tank procedures, he does come with a bazooka as well, or a rocket launcher. So of course we've seen this already with Bazooka himself, so just in a different color, all black and everything this time. So we have this bazooka that we can put into his hands as well, so let's try that. Okay, so I'm having so much issue trying to get this bazooka into his hand. I can't get it to fit the stay in each of the hands. I can only get one or the other, which is so weird, because when doing bazooka I had no issue getting it in his hands, but the Snow Serpent must be built a little bit different. I can't get it to stay in either of his hands. Like if I get in one, it just pops out the other. So unfortunately I can't get that in his hands properly, so unfortunately that's not going to work. We'll just have to put one of the other guns in. But to go along with it, we get the backpack as well, similar that we had with Bazooka, so it's got the rockets in there. So obviously if we could put the rockets in of the rocket launcher as well, but pretty much exact same backpack as we've seen. So we'll just go and plug this into his back like that. And similar to Snowjob, we do also get a set of snowshoes, so since he's in the snow, we can put these snowshoes on him as well, so he can have the snowshoes on like that, which I'm having issues getting him on as well. It seems like the pegs are a little bit too big for his feet or something, but anyways, you can have the snowshoes on like that, which is pretty cool. So he can be wearing the snowshoes, very similar to Snowjob. But if you don't want him to be wearing them, what's cool that I found out about these is that you can kind of hang them on his backpack as well. So he has the slot down here that, especially with like bazooka and everything, you can take and hold the bazooka on there, so you can kind of clip this in and it'll hang off the back there. But you can also take the snowshoes and put them in, so they have these little squares cut out. It's a little bit hard to get them on stuck on there, but you can like get it worked on, and then they can hang off the back as well. So you can take both of these and just stick them on there. So you'd obviously have to choose between one or the other, the snowshoes or the bazooka, but you can have them clipped on the back there, so he can always be carrying them around with him. And again, pretty similar to Snowjob, but kind of cooler is he comes with a snowboard, so he has a Cobra snowboard instead. So let's try and put him on these, so he can go on the snowboard like that. He went on pretty easy. Of course, you just gotta get his foot in the peg, and it fit really nice. So now he's ready to shred down a mountain, so that's pretty fun, I guess. And finally, what makes him even cooler is that he comes with some wolf pelt that you can put on him. So we have this headpiece that we can put on, as well as this fur cloak as well. So that'll look pretty cool. So let's put this on him. Of course, we do have to take this backpack off and then get this fur around him. So there's what he looks like with the wolf pelt on as well. I did take the goggles off. I think it'd look better with those goggles, but I took it off because the wolf kept pushing down on him and messing him up. So there's what it looks like. So you can see the fur kind of flows nice into each other in there and kind of just hangs off the back, which looks nice. And I love how it's even got the little paws and stuff. So I feel bad for the poor little wolf, but it looks pretty awesome there as well. And then what's even cooler is that it still does have the hole in the back there, so you can't even take this backpack and stick it on there still. So he can have that on. And now he's all completely covered there. So now he's ready to go down a hill, probably chasing after Snowjob, shooting at him. So let's just give him a gun. So there is our complete Snow Serpent now, which looks pretty fun. So like I said, really cool that he comes with a snowboard. I feel it's not as like easily to like use and pose up as the skis are, but it still looks pretty fun and cool, and just looks awesome with that wolf fur and everything, and just looks really cool. I just wish I could get him to hold that bazooka, but unfortunately it wasn't working out. But that looks pretty cool overall, I must say. So really awesome to have the Snow Serpent, especially to go along with that Snowjob. So he just looks awesome. And finally, we have the Arctic B.A.T, which is an updated Cobra Battle Android Trooper designed specifically for the cold. So not a whole lot fancy about it, but it does look really cool. So, looks relatively like the bats we've had before, and I'll show you that comparison. But just looks really cool with the all white design this time. So still has all the like robotic body pieces. So the arms that we can switch out, the chest plate that's open, which I love this metallic blue in there. And then we have the face, which looks pretty cool with like this like single like camera design or whatever it is there on the front. I think that looks pretty awesome for it. Nice big shoulder armor there, and then like belt around the waist with some pockets and stuff, and then thigh holster on the one side with the big thigh pads all the way down to the boots, which mostly underneath all that stuff looks relatively the same to all the other bats. But for the movements, the head will twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent movements. We get the shoulders that come up. Now, unfortunately, the shoulders, I can't really get up too much. Like, they just really move a little bit up and down, so not a whole lot of range there. But we do have that butterfly joint that goes back and forth, and of course, they can rotate around. Then we get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint, so we get the upper and lower joint there. So we get upper and then the lower, so it can bend pretty much all the way up on itself as much as it'll allow it at least. So that's pretty good. And then we get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunches, so we have the cutout crunch there, so crunch back and forth, so pretty decent. And then crunch specifically at the waist, and we'll twist all the way around. Then the hips will come up to 90 and out to the side, again close to doing the splits with those drop down hips. Thigh twist around, that'll twist. The double knee joint that can bend up feels pretty stiff, but it'll bend up at least that far to the back. We do have a shin twist there at the top of the boot, and then the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So it does look like it has all the same movements as every other bat, so nothing surprising there. But then we get all his different accessories. So first we get a head we can switch out, so we have this cool looking head with a nice visor. Love the yellow with like the blue, and it says Arctic polarized, so that's pretty cool. So we can switch that head out. So there's that faceplate that looks a lot like our other bats, so that'll be pretty cool. Again, hard to kind of see against the white, but looks pretty awesome. And then we get chest plate pieces, so we have our normal just sort of Cobra chest plate there in white that sort of fits on, but then we do also get the battle damage as we usually do, so we can put the battle damage chest plate on. Or then it looks like he also comes with, I'd say, like a tactical chest plate, so we get this one as well that's got like some pockets and everything, so that's pretty neat design, so may just leave that on. And as usual for the bats, we get the same backpack design, so similar backpack as we've always had, just in a different color this time. That'll plug in the back, and with that usually stores extra accessories, and I like all his different hand placements, but the only extra hand he comes with this time is the saw hand, which looks really cool. So the nice chainsaw, so we can take and switch this out, So there he's got the chainsaw hand, which looks ridiculously cool. I absolutely love that nice big saw blade on there. And of course, with the extra hand, you can take it and store it in the back here. So store just there. And then we do also get some weapons that go along with him as well. So first we get a pistol. So just nice pistol all in gray color, which looks pretty nice, like kind of futuristic. So we can take this and stick it down into the holster there on his thigh, just like that. And then he also comes with a rifle that looks pretty cool, almost like a long sniper rifle or something. Feels a little bent up from opening it, but looks pretty cool with the white and mostly black design. Has a really cool just overall futuristic design as well. Looks like we even have a little bipod that folds down and a strap obviously we can use to like put it around him. So that's pretty cool. And then the gun also does have a silencer that comes with it. So it'll stick on the end of the gun just like that. So it can be silenced as well. So that's pretty cool. So let's put this in his other hand. So there he's got the gun in his hands, which unfortunately with it being curved, it doesn't look very good like posing up, and we'd have to put it in his other hand, but I want to have the chainsaw hand. So may have to just go with the pistol instead for this, but just looks really cool. I just absolutely love this design. I think the helmet looks pretty cool with the nice blue and green color there. Having the chest plate that you can switch out with the 3 different designs, and the chainsaw hand just looks really cool. Now, of course, since this is a troop builder, we do have multiple, so we can, have different variations of design. So probably definitely have the one with this head and one with this other head, and then switch out the different pieces and stuff. But very cool for this Arctic bat overall, and we can compare it to our other bats. So there's our Arctic bat along with the normal bat, the Python Patrol bat, and the Crimson bat. So you can see the variation between all of them. Of course, all look relatively similar, just different colors, but really like this white bat, just Arctic bat. Just comparing to all the others, I think it's probably my favorite so far. So really cool to have the Arctic bat now added into the collection. Well, that's going to be it for our Arctic G.I. Joe Classified Series figures, where we got Snowjob, Snow Serpent, and Arctic Bat. All 3 of them are pretty cool. I like the designs. Now, unfortunately, I do have, some issues with them. Snowjob, to me, is just almost perfect. Like I said, just his body has the limited range that I found out with the Snow Serpent, so unfortunately, I've messed him up. But it just stinks with the Snow Serpent that I can't, get his bazooka in his hand, and then he doesn't stay on the skis or the snowshoes very well. They just don't seem to stay on his feet. But the bat is just ridiculously cool. It's just, unfortunately, another bat, so it's kind of boring, but this one just looks so cool. I absolutely love it. So good figures overall. I just wish they could be a little bit better, especially with the Snow Serpent, but they're all still really cool and I like them a lot. So really good figures for this Arctic wave. I hope we get more characters that have more uniqueness and coolness like these 3 did. So let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.